In one of my previous videos, I mentioned that there will be some changes that will come into effect and the government will publish this when it is ready, which is in March. The new statement of change is finally out. It came out 2 days ago. I've already made a video covering one aspect of the changes, which is the introduction of the innovator founder route and the closing of an existing visa, which is the startup visa. In today's video, I'll be talking about the updates to employment requirements in all work routes. That's to say, any visa that allows you to work in the UK, that's a skilled worker visa, temporary worker visa, scale-up visa, and all of those work routes. There are some changes and amendments that has been done to it, so you'd want to watch this video till the end. If you're planning on coming to the UK on this visa, or you're already in the UK on this visa, you want to know what are the changes that has been implemented, and this is what I'll be talking about in today's video. So hey lovelies, welcome back again to my channel. If you're new, my name is Faith Ojane, and on this channel I talk about ways you can travel abroad and settle abroad. I share resources on how you can get started. I share latest updates concerning the UK like this one, and just to keep you updated even if you're living in the UK or you're planning on coming to the UK. So you would want to subscribe to the channel if this is what interests you, and also do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I share content like this. Without saying so much, let's get started. So the skilled worker, global business mobility, scale up and seasonal worker visa, the UK government is updating salary threshold, and the going rates for various occupations are based on the latest available salary data, which has been published on gov.uk, just in case you want to see the new updates. But I'm going to be mentioning some of the salary. This means that the minimum salary that an employee must be paid in a particular job has been changed by the government. Okay, so the minimum salary threshold for skilled worker visa is now 26,200. I think I made mention of this in one of my videos. This statement also clarifies that the minimum salary required for global business mobility senior specialist worker is now 45,800, and for the junior workers is now 24,220 pounds, and for scale up it has increased from 33,000 pounds to 34,600. Remember when the UK government launched the scale up visa, the ongoing salary threshold was 33,000. That's to say, for you to migrate to the UK on the scale up visa, you have to be paid 33,000 from a scale-up company before you can move. They are also clarifying how to consider salary for individuals who have a work pattern. If an applicant is being sponsored to work in the UK under certain visa categories, they must meet a minimum salary requirement. If their work pattern is irregular and their pay is uneven, the UK government has some rules to help them meet the salary threshold. So let me give you an example. So if an applicant works, for example, 60 hours a week for 2 weeks and then takes up an unpaid rest week, the average working hours per week would be like 40 hours. So that 60 hours times 2 weeks plus 0 hours for the other week divided by 3 weeks, this will give you 40 hours. So if they are paid £12 an hour, their annual salary will be calculated around 24,900, you know. So £12 an hour times 40 hours per week times 52 weeks per year. So that's to say, like, if you're working shift pattern and let's say you first week you did a lot of shifts, like they're trying to calculate the salary threshold that you're supposed to be paid. Also, it is important to note that any unpaid rest will not count as an absence from employment for the purpose of calculating the average working hours. So this is for those who work shift pattern. But if you're coming on a skilled worker visa and you have a fixed salary, like, you know, it's not based on how many hours you work per week, then this does not apply to you. So the new rule is designed to help applicants who work in industry where the work pattern is irregular, such as seasonal worker jobs that involves irregular shifts. So this changes is because they want to make sure that people who come on the temporary worker visa or any shift pattern work that are being sponsored to the UK are able to make money because there are stories going around that employers bring people and they just give them 8 hours a day, like they're not getting paid and making them to find it difficult to survive. You know, of course, if it's hourly, if you're working on shift, you only get paid the amount of hours you work, which I think if you're being sponsored, it shouldn't apply to sponsored workers because that's unfair. You should have a fixed amount of money you get every month, whether you work 20 hours or 40 hours. Like, it should be fixed. That way you can be able to cover your bills and expenses. This one is based on visa rejection. So just because you have a job offer in the UK does not mean you automatically get the permission to come to the UK and work. So there are other changes now. They are putting in place another rule. This change is being made to all work rules requiring a job offer. That is, if a decision maker, that's a person responsible for reviewing and approving your visa application, has reason to believe that the job offer does not comply with the national minimum wage regulations or the working time regulation, then application will be refused. So if you've gotten a job offer in the UK and based on what is written on your contract, if you find out that the time, that's the amount of hours you're supposed to work and the money you're supposed to make, if they are not giving you enough hours or the salary threshold does not meet the skilled worker salary threshold, your visa is going to be denied. So I've heard a lot of news recently that a lot of people's visas are being denied. So this is the new government rules. So make sure that if you've been offered a sponsorship job, make sure that the salary threshold complies with what the UK government has published on their website as the agreed salary that should be paid, and make sure that your employer is telling you the amount of hours, I mean the time you're supposed to work, also tallies with everything, because now they don't want people coming to the UK not getting enough hours, I mean enough shifts, and not being offered the right amount of money. This is for your own good, because if you come to the UK and your employer is only giving you 8 hours a week or 10 hours a week, you will not make enough money, because if your shift is hourly based, you only get paid for the hours you work. So this one is for the good of the employee, which I think is amazing. The skilled worker route, which is a type of visa for people who have job offer in the UK and met certain skills and language requirements. The new update now confirms that this route also applies to people who work in UK waters. Okay, so this means that people who work on ships, oil grid in the UK waters may be eligible for skilled worker visa if they meet other requirements. So I'm thinking the government is adding a new occupation to the skilled worker visa. So this is all the changes for all the work routes. So I'm going to drop another video where we'll talk about the final updates, and I hope you like this video. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell, and thank you so much for watching this video. We have come to the end of this video, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.